welcome to a picturesque lay-by on the A5, just outside of Travelog. And if I were a professional, I would have started this at home before I put my helmet on and got all of my vlogging stuff set up inside. But here I am. I'm just taking a day out today. I'm going to test a new type of content for my channel. And I thought, screw it, I'll do a little travelogue while I'm going along. So, welcome to a little travelogue. So today I am just left Kilsby on the A5, but I've come off the A5 at Kilsby and I'm heading down towards Daventry because the road looks kind of nice. As you can see, I'm stuck behind some people, and I'm going to go sort of south through Banbury down to sort of somewhere around Chipping Norton where there's a cool thing I want to look at, and then I'm going to come back up by a different route. It does sound pretty windy, so I'm sorry if that's making it difficult to hear stuff. I think it's kind of windy in general today. Also, I feel like I could maybe put a little air in my tires, but they feel okay. Oh, it's just nice to get out of the road. I haven't ridden very much in the last couple of weeks. I just like being up and down to the climbing gym, got to see a couple of friends, but with Scotiacut and everything on, it's just been busy. Had stuff on at my weekends, not really had the opportunity. I grew up in like a sort of boggy highland area, and anytime people say, "Oh, it's so beautiful up there," about places like that, I'm just like, So I guess there are probably lots of people who feel the same way about like rolling fields, as I do about boggy highlands, but I quite like it. Oh, that's cute. It's like a tiny little bridge that looks like a big bridge. Oh, I love when it opens up and you can sort of see the road wending ahead. That's cool. This is a interestingly windy village. There actually. It is kind of on the top of the hill. This is some lovely rolling country though. It would be cool to do this in 3D. I don't know if you can get 3D action cams. Bet they're expensive if you can. I've come to a pretty picturesque part of Oxfordshire. Lots of rolling hills and fields. And I've come to a place called the Rollright Stones, which you can see behind me, which is a circle of standing stones dating to something like 3500 BC, so about what 5,500 years ago. It's not very long, just a little bit ago. Apparently, this used to be maybe like a contiguous wall with like one opening. And a lot of the stones that are currently standing today have been re-erected during the Victorian era. But it is cool that these kind of things are still here thousands of years later. It's so long ago that there's no way of knowing what kind of things happened here when it was built. Like what was the purpose behind its construction? And it's ceremonial, obviously. It'd be a gathering place to conduct some kind of ancient ceremonies. But it's just cool to see these things. And I was reading the thing over there. So apparently, this is like circles of this construction are very rare in this area. They're more of like a north of England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales type of thing. And here in England, it's actually down. Where are we? We're sort of middle of England, if you can imagine. And it's kind of rare down here, so that's cool. So you tend not to find one thing in isolation with stuff like this. The circle is called the King's Men. This is called the Whispering Knights because it kind of like these tall rocks that are leaning in close together. But this is a burial site. The ring is just there-ish. This is a burial site. It's about 6,000 years old, which is a long time. And you've got this stone here and this stone here forming a portal, and then you got this stone in the middle, sort of gumming up the gap. So it's a kind of a door stone, if you will. And then behind that, there would be more stones forming like a little chamber and a mound over all of that. And all of that's gone. There's some stones behind this that have collapsed in. And inside that chamber, you have had dismembered bones buried of people. And this is like a really fancy tomb for the era. Like putting this up with essentially Neolithic technology is an impressive feat. Like this is a bold statement about your community. Yeah, it's just amazing to see this stuff still here. Like even just the fact that these are a couple of like the door stones essentially is all that's left. If you think about like the Roman invasion of Britain, right? This is 3 times further in the past than that, and that's a long time ago, right? But this would have been twice as long in the past to the people who are alive at the Roman invasion of Britain as those people are to us today. That's how long ago this was built, and that's why it's so amazing to like come and like actually see it. I've seen a bunch of people touching some of the stones around here, and I don't really want to. It doesn't seem to be something you're discouraged from doing, but like over time, you're adding to the weathering, and I'm just like I don't really want to, even though like it would be cool. So lastly, there's the King Stone, which is this one. Basically, excavations around the area show that there's a lot of sort of burials in this area, and the prevailing idea for what this stone is that it's a marker just to mark the burial area, because a lot of the burials are marked with wooden posts. Those rot away over time because, you know, we are talking about a long time. And while a lot of the other monuments around here are from sort of 3 to 4,000 BC, this one is relatively young, at merely 3,500 years. So this is from about 1500 BC, which is a long time ago. So one of the really interesting things about stuff that's been here a really long time is that people forget why it's there, and they make stuff up, and like legends and myths sort of build around these things that have been, from the perspective of ordinary people, like here forever. So the Rollright Stones have this really interesting thing where it's like, this is a king who was turned to stone by an evil witch, and like the stone circle is his army, and the Whispering Knights are those, you know, those three stones that are leaning together. They're like plotting against him, and she turns them to stone as well. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird and cool. It's weird how like these just weird, like, myths grow up around these things when they've just been here forever, and someone's just like, oh yeah, and they tell like the story to their kids, and their kids grow up and tell it to their kids, and so on and so forth, and it just becomes like a myth passed down from generation to generation. That kind of thing is cool, you know, when a place has such a deep history to it. So you can find this place pretty easily if you search for the Rollright Stones on Google. There doesn't appear to be any public transport nearby, but I have seen a lot of walkers. It'd be pretty easy to cycle here as well, I think. There is this little lay-by style car park. There's space for, I guess, 8 cars. So you can get parked here. I saw some cars down that way that have just parked up with the grass as well. So it's pretty easy to get to. There is a £1 charge to get in, but there's no one here. There's no enforcement. There's no like barrier or anything. There's just a sign that says please pay £1. It's £1. You can pay it. There are no facilities, so just be aware of that. But yeah, it's cool to come and go look at. Oh, I like that the new developments here are finished in stone rather than brick. I find brick to be just a really unappealing construction material. It's super common here in Britain though. Oh, that's neat. Ooh. Huh. That's a Trabant. You can smell it. Neat. I still don't know how horses perceive this thing, because obviously it doesn't have all of the engine sounds, but it's still a fast-moving object, and it does make that weird whine. I just slow down out of courtesy. What a steep grade, 16%. That's gonna sap the old battery. Oh, it's got some hills. Oh yeah. Oh yes. That's kinda neat. Is it real or is it a folly? Got like a nice view and stuff. It might be real. You never know. I'll have to look it up. There's a bunch of things in life where vocabulary hasn't caught up at all and it's just changed the same. It's just stayed the same rather. Will we still be using tank range when we've all gone electric? Dunno. We'll find out. But sometimes vocabulary changes to keep trace, sometimes it doesn't. And I think that was nice. I think when it comes to video, I don't think it is going to catch up, to be honest. Or even video is as archaic as film is. None of this is actually video. Grandborough. I'm already going slow enough for the turn, come on. There we go. Alright. You know the spiel by now. If you liked this episode, then give it a like. Watch some of my other videos. Subscribe if you like them. Hit the bell if you subscribe. If you have anything you'd like to say to me, leave a comment. And if you would like to reward me for entertaining you today, then you can find my Ko-fi link in the description below.